Hey guys, as we come down to the end of the year, it's something that I typically like to do is kind of just reflect on things as far as like, hey, did I do the things that I really set myself up to? New Year's resolutions are such a cliche thing that I don't really set up New Year's resolutions. I just do the thing and hopefully I'm disciplined enough to do it. And speaking of the discipline thing, this has been the thing I wanted to start for a very long time since I got my PC and everything. Now, yeah, I could have, done it through different means, just my phone and whatnot, but I held off. That being said, it has now been officially a full 12 months since I took this seriously. Um, that's going across the board of YouTube, Twitch, the whole nine yards, right? Doing something that a lot of people do set themselves out to do, right? I'm not unique. I just am pressing a button and just doing that, right? And want to sit down and just look at what I have. I'm not going to put any fancy things here, whatever, just because that's just not my style. Um, but it's been a fun year. And I kind of want to go through what I've learned, what I've enjoyed, the challenges, and I don't know if if it's interesting, it's interesting. Um, so yeah, like I said, downloaded OBS. That's the software I use for recording, streaming, all that stuff. And then it's kind of a building block from that, right? Learning every component, learning how to be your own everything. So let's talk about that. Versus your the streaming aspect of it. Have any of you or has anyone tried or does you started from somewhere? You started from somewhere, right? You started from zero, started from nothing, and whatever you're wanting to go into, you did it, right? For me, it was just like talking and honing my personality, but for an online presence. I think it's a lot easier showing your personality in person, right, than it is, doing it just in front of a camera. A number tells you there's so many people watching, so many people have watched it, but those people aren't visibly in front of you. So it's kind of like not faking it, but yeah, I hope you understand what I'm getting at. So that was like the first thing, ignoring the numbers and just doing this because doing it for the love of the game, basically. And that was a challenge because, you know, again, you're kind of talking into a void. Um, and you got to get used to a lot of things. One of the things initially was hearing myself speak. I don't really do that, right? I kind of, if I was sending a voice memo or something like that to somebody or whatever, you don't really hear yourself speak. And I did not like that. I still am not fully comfortable with hearing myself speak, but that is just a thing. Um, I don't know. I guess you get used to it over time, right? Because then you get self-conscious, like, do I sound weird, nasally, or whatever? And I even am thinking of those things now. Second of that was having my face on camera. Like when I finally got my camera in and I decided to like record myself, put an overlay and all that, I was like, oh, like now my face is out there, like whether I don't have a presence or I do have a presence, whatever I'm putting out there, my face is now out there. And kind of that's another there. A lot of it is like just getting used to these new things of like, all right, I am putting myself out there, like in a different way. Sometimes you put yourself out there to, be more social, or putting yourself out there for in the dating world, whatever. This in the internet space, like this was something new where I was like, I don't know how everything's going to be received, but I'm doing it because I want to, for the love of the game. um so that was, getting started. And then like picking what I wanted to do, like I think the most common thing a lot of people, have an interest in is gaming and just talking. So I meshed the two, right, as many people do. Played games I liked, got the games I liked or could afford, and played that with friends, played that by myself, whatever, what I truly just made me have a good time. I wouldn't go out of my way to get a game, and not enjoy it. Then came the actual like creation of it. Okay, I got the streaming stuff, under an understanding of it, understanding the softwares and stuff. And the next thing was kind of making content out of it. So that made like making a TikTok page and making an Instagram page and a YouTube for all the things, so that way I can start on that side. And so you're learning to be your own marketer was interesting, right? You think like marketing is, it's not none of this is easy. Everything I'm speaking about, none of it's easy. Being your own marketer, testing the waters with different things and seeing what works. And when you're, in my imagination, when you're up and coming or when you're just starting out, you have to do a lot of you have to think a little outside of the box before you can kind of nestle into doing your standard stuff. And what do I mean by that? So like, if like whatever like is your specialty, I don't know. For me, I love dancing. I love, singing along to songs, whatever. And making that a part of the things I do off stream, because those are things I do naturally. I'm not gonna I don't song and dance, all on a stream or whatever. But doing those things and showing people the personality was what I like. The hey, you have to be authentic or whatever. It's more so it needs to be framed down to, you need to do what you are like known for, what you enjoy. Hey, do you like, singing or whatever, like off random, whatever? Do you like having a bag of chips just sitting behind you because you don't really care about yourself? I don't know, man. I'm just saying things. Just finding, that was for me the thing, like, hey, taking those bits that make me, and I don't know, make it, just putting it out there, seeing what sticks and what doesn't. And then, you know, that's the kind of, that's still the thing. Um, but outside of that, the next part was editing. And this has actually been a very like big part of it, because I've actually come to really enjoy editing. And now we get into like part 3 of this, where it's like you're your own editor, right? A lot of the bigger guys at their growth, their size, they have their own editors, whatever. But when everyone started from ground zero, you're doing everything by yourself, right? You're, you know, sparking the stream or making the YouTube video. You learn your own, you find your editing software that works for you, and you just start making videos and just putting them out there, right? And then like, let's get into graphic designing, that's part of it. Making the thumbnails, or cover or whatever, setting up how your stream looks, or making it, all those things, like like editing across the board when it comes to like the thumbnails, all that stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed. And one thing I will never do is I am never going to touch AI for any of that. That's too much fun. Just learning it on your own and just doing it on your own and taking inspiration from other people and learning it and putting it all together. And so that now is a culmination of now a year. And where are we at? Right? You might, what is it all? What's the payoff? What is the end of the year 1 of doing this thing you're setting yourself out to do? I don't have like I said, I don't have the numbers pulled out, but they're all here. My Instagram's currently at 27 followers. My TikTok is at 382 followers, and my YouTube's at 75 subscribers. So all in all, to me, I think I did a damn good job. That's year 1 of just like starting from, I know nothing about anything. And I still know nothing about anything. I am just another, I just now have one more puzzle piece than I had when I first started. And that's basically it. It's just, to me, it's just all comes down to having a good time, just hanging out, having fun in my own way, and sharing how I have fun, and in some way, shape, or form, hoping those people, like you, enjoy those things, you know, and it's not a one size fit all. And I don't think it ever will be where it's like one person can cater to everybody, but it is an interesting learning experience. Um, and like I said, I don't really do, um, like, you know, what is it? Yeah, New Year's resolutions. So what like I'm getting at is I just kind of do it to do it, and all I can hope for is I am disciplined to put myself further and push myself further, and all I want is a little bit of growth from that, whether it's 1%, 5%, whatever, you know, that growth is growth, right? Now, anyways, I don't know what else to blabber on about. Been going for about 10 minutes, so that's cool. And so I feel like I've gotten better at it a little bit. But I made a video. I'll end on this. I made a video about 1 year ago, beginning of the year maybe, of me first starting out and setting out on this journey. And I think if I look back to myself 12 months ago, I would say thank you for deciding to press the button. I would say thank you to myself every time that I was challenged, because, you know, I made the decision to do it. But most of all, anyone that's interacted, anyone that has shared, commented, or seen me in some way, shape, or form, thank you. Um, I honestly think, yeah, one part of it is me doing it, but another part, just deep in my soul, is just seeing the interaction, seeing people not only wanting to talk with me, but just talk to each other on this one video that I thought was going to be dumb. It's I would say interesting feeling. It's an awesome feeling, and I don't think you can ever grow tired of it. So I'll end on this to say thank you guys for listening to me blabber. I hope you guys have a great holiday, and who knows, I might do more blabber type videos about things. I don't know. I kind of like talking to a camera as I got more used to it, but hope you guys have yourselves a great rest of the year. I'll definitely be making more stuff, so be on the lookout. But on that note, y'all take it easy, be safe, and love. Peace out, y'all. Bye.